Hey there, this is Teacher Podcast episode 322, Learn English with End of Beginning by Joe. You read English, you understand English, you've been learning for years, but when it's time to speak, your mind just freezes and the words don't come out. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. My name's Ola and this is Teacher Podcast. I'm here to help you finally speak out loud. It isn't about perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary. This is about your voice, your words, your real English. In today's episode, we slow down and look closely at language hidden inside music, the kind of language that seems simple at first, but actually carries layers of meaning. Let's break down 5 lines from End of Beginning. 1. Just one more tear to cry. Let's start with tear because this is a word that can easily confuse learners. In English, tear has 2 completely different meanings, and what's interesting is that it is also pronounced in 2 different ways. First meaning, tear as a noun, pronounced tear or ter. In American English. This is the meaning from the song line, actually. A tear is the small drop of liquid that comes out of your eye when you cry, when you are sad, moved, tired, or even happy. Examples: a tear rolled down her cheek when she heard the news. He wiped away his tears and tried to smile. After the film, there were tears in her eyes. Second meaning, tear as a verb, pronounced in the same way, tear or ter. This verb means to produce tears, to cry. Usually it's used in a phrasal verb to tear up. Examples: she began to tear up when she talked about her childhood. The sad story made him tear up. I always tear up when I watch that scene. Now a completely different word. Third meaning, tear as a verb, pronounced tear or ter. This tear means to pull something apart, often quickly, roughly, or violently, to damage something by pulling it into pieces or making a hole in it. Examples: he tore the paper in half. So the past tense of tear is tore, and the third form is torn. Look, I have torn my jacket on a nail. The dog torn the toy to pieces. Fourth meaning, tear as a noun, also pronounced tear or ter. This is the result of tearing. It means a hole or a rip in fabric, paper, or another material. For example, there is a tear in my jeans. She noticed a small tear in the book cover. 2. When things aren't black and white. The phrase black and white, pronounced just like this, black and white, in everyday English it is very often used in a figurative meaning, not a literal one. When something is black and white, it is clear, simple, and easy to judge. There are no doubts, no gray areas, no complicated emotions or situations. Something is being clearly defined as right or wrong, good or bad, black or white. Examples: the rules are black and white. Everyone knows what to do. For a child, the world often seems black and white. The law is not always black and white. We often use this phrase when we talk about moral decisions, relationships, or life problems. Adult life is rarely black and white. Things are usually more complicated. There's also a literal meaning. Of course, black and white can simply describe colors, especially of photographs or films. For example, I love black and white movies. The photo was printed in black and white. 3. And when I'm back in Chicago. This line is very important because it's a great example of a very common mistake made by Polish learners. In English, back is not a verb. Back is mainly an adverb. It describes direction or position. It tells us where, not what action is happening, only the direction. Because of that, you cannot say, I back to Chicago, I back home. You must always use a verb with back. For example, to be back. I am back in Chicago now. She was happy to be back home. To go back. We are going back to Chicago tomorrow. He went back to his hometown after university. Also, to get back. I got back late last night. Call me when you get back. Also, to come back. She came back after 2 years abroad. When will you come back? To arrive back. They arrived back in the city at midnight. So remember this rule. Back cannot work alone because it doesn't show action. It only shows direction. Go back. The verb is the engine of the sentence, and back just tells where is the direction. What is the direction? 4. I wave goodbye to the end of beginning. The verb wave has several meanings, all connected with movement. First meaning, to wave your hand, arm, or body. It means to move your hand or arm or any body part from side to side, usually to say hello or goodbye or to get someone's attention. Examples. She waved goodbye as the train left. He waved at his friends across the street. The teacher waved for the students to come closer. Second meaning, a wave as a physical movement, especially in water, but also in air, sound, or light. A wave of light, a wave of sound. Third meaning, as a verb, wave can describe something moving in a smooth, flowing way. For example, the grass waved in the wind. Flags waved above the crowd. Her hair waved. And the third meaning, waves at sea. Examples. Huge waves crashed against the rocks. The waves were calm in the morning. Fourth meaning, a wave of something. This is a very common abstract use. It means a sudden increase or spread of activity, emotion, or events. For example, a wave of protest spread across the country. The city experienced a wave of violence. A wave of excitement passed through the crowd. You can also use repetition for emphasis, wave after wave. For instance, wave after wave of aircraft passed overhead. There is also the Mexican wave, a cultural reference from sports events. People in a stadium stand up and raise their arms one after another, creating the effect of a moving wave. One common idiom is to make waves. It means to cause trouble or attract attention by doing something different or unexpected. For example, he didn't want to make waves at his new job, so he stayed quiet at first. So he didn't want to cause any trouble. Yeah? So he didn't want to make waves at his new job. 5. A major sacrifice. The word sacrifice has two main meanings in English. First meaning, sacrifice as a noun. It means giving up something important. So the act of giving up something important, valuable, or enjoyable in order to achieve something else that is more important. For example, working weekends was a major sacrifice for her. Parents often make sacrifices for their children. Moving abroad meant a big sacrifice, but it was worth it. Second meaning, Sacrifice as a religious act, offering something to a god, especially an animal, in a special and serious way. This meaning is less common in everyday conversations, but very important culturally and historically. Examples. In ancient times, people offered animals as a sacrifice to gods. The ritual involved a sacred sacrifice. Now the verb to sacrifice. As a verb, sacrifice means to give up something valuable or important for a purpose, for something more important. Examples. He sacrificed his free time to study for the exam. They sacrificed comfort for adventure. She sacrificed her career to care for her family. Time to practice. Listen and repeat out loud. She began to tear up when she talked about her childhood. Look, I have torn my jacket on a nail. The law is not always black and white. She was happy to be back home. I got back late last night. She came back after 2 years abroad. She waved goodbye as the train left. He didn't want to make waves at his new job. Moving abroad meant a big sacrifice, but it was worth it. They sacrificed comfort for adventure. Well done, that's all from me now. Don't forget to head to teacherola.com/322 and grab your free worksheet. It'll help you repeat the key phrases from the lesson. Join my voice loop program. New groups are being formed. Go to teacherola.com/grupy and sign up. teacherola.com/grupy. Thank you so much for listening. Stay fearless, take care, and say it out loud. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you've been listening to Teacher Ola Podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like or a review. Thank you so much. Bye for now.